Welcome to the pronunciation part. I'm Hình Anh and I will be in charge of this part, how to pronounce the ending S or ES. The ending S can be pronounced in 3 different ways depending on the word it's attached to. But first, we have to know what is voiced and voiceless consonants as well as sibilant sound. For the first one, what is voiced consonant? We use the vocal cords and chord variation in the throat. Look at the picture. And we have the examples like save, wide, prize, lab. With the voiceless consonant, we do not use the vocal cords. Sounds come from the mouth region instead, so there is no variation in the throat. Like save, wide, prize, lab. Moving on is the sibilant sound. Produced by forcing air out toward your teeth, tongue firmly touching the roof of your mouth, characterized as a hiss sound from a snake, or a buzz sounds from a bee, or the sound you make when you want someone to be quiet. Shh. Here is a summary for you. The pronunciation of the final S or ES in plural words and verbs in the third person singular depends on the final consonant sound before that S or ES. The ending is pronounced after a voiceless sound, and it is pronounced Z after a voiced sound, and is pronounced is after a sibilant sound. And here are the examples for you. With the voiceless, we have helps, sits, looks, voiced, crabs, words, gloves. And we have the final one is sibilant sound. Buzzes, bridges, or wishes.
Listen to these sounds and the words that begin with the sounds. The first sound in each word is made in exactly the same way, except one is voiceless and the other is voiced. Put your hand on your throat and repeat the sounds and words after you hear them. Is voiced. Put your hand on your throat and repeat the sounds and words after you hear them.
1. Pat. B. Bat. 2. Few. View. 3. Tear. 4. Sue. Zoo. 5. Choke. Joke. 6. Cap. Gavin. Think. This.
1. Jane's chain is in her backpack. 2. There's a fine vine growing on Kate's gate. 3. The list of things to do is in Zach's sack. 1. Jane's chain is in her backpack. 2. There's a fine vine growing on Kate's gate. 3. The list of things to do is in Zach's sack.
Now we will move on to the main part, how to pronounce the ending S or ES. With the S sound, when the last consonant of the word is a voiceless sound, like, and here is no note for you, the consonant with k, s, sh, k, and x are voiceless, though they use the sibling ending seen above. There are some examples for you. Cliffs, sniffs, cups, landscapes, cooks, books, labs, hats, students, graduates, myths, tablecloths. There are also the special case for you. We have blouse, borrows, bows. Because the suffix ch, or we can pronounce g, is silent, so we use z, like says, and we have the other cases that are say to says, days, blaze. S or es in mouths, baths, paths, truths, youths, oaths, clothes, we consider it as z. Now we will continue with is sound. When the last consonant is a sibling sound, pronounced like an extra syllable. Some example for you guys. Buzzes, gases, fixes, mixes, freezes, prizes, churches, witches, garage or garage, wages, races, kisses, misses, dishes, eyelashes. And also, please remember that after verbs ending sh, s, and z, we add es to the end of the verb in third person, and the pronunciation is as an extra syllable. And we will move on to the final one, that is the z sound. When the last letter ends in a voiced consonant or sound, or a vowel sound, the pronunciation sounds like a B, like crabs, carts, rugs, dills, plums, fans, trains, kings, wares, gloves, lace, clothes. And with the vowel sound, we have sees, toes, photos. Here is the summary for you. Sometimes we wonder how to pronounce s or es, or we often have the text with the pronunciation of the s, the ending s. So please take note down to make sure that you won't forget it, and you will take it and it will come handy in your exam. And the next video is how to pronounce the s or es by the native speaker. Enjoy.
Hey everyone, I'm Luke, and in this English lesson we're going to study the pronunciation of S endings. So simply, words ending in S. S endings are so common in English. Verbs can end in S, plural nouns can end in S, contractions can also end in S. So it's very important that you know how to pronounce the S at the end of these words. And there are 3 ways that the S can be pronounced. It can be S, Z, and is. So now let's look at some examples and the rules for using the correct pronunciation of S. Let's start with the S ending sound. For example, likes, stops, laughs, sports, and baths. Did you hear the S sound at the end of these words? Yeah, these ones are pretty easy because the spelling and pronunciation match. The letter S is pronounced as S. That's easy. But how do we know when to use the S sound? Is there a rule? Well, firstly, we have to look at the sound that comes right before the S. So let's remove the S sound to find out. We have like, K, stop, P, laugh, F, sport, T, and bath, Th. K, P, F, T, and Th are all unvoiced consonants. English has voiced and unvoiced consonants. With unvoiced consonants, you don't use your vocal cords. So if you touch your throat and say the sounds, you don't feel any vibration at all. So the rule is you need to use the S sound for words that end in an unvoiced consonant. Likes, stops, laughs, sports, baths. Now let's take a look at the Z ending sound. For example, dogs, words, loves, dreams, and sings. These words all end with the Z ending sound. But why? What's the rule here? Again, we need to look at the sound right before the Z. So let's remove that and see what we have. We have dog, G, word, D, love, V, dream, M, and sing, ing. And these are all examples of, right, they are voiced consonants. Voiced consonants use your vocal cords in your throat. So if you put your fingers to your throat and say a voiced consonant, you can feel it vibrate. G, D, V. So the rule is, you need to use the Z sound for words that end in a voiced consonant. Dogs, words, loves, dreams, sings, fans, feels, wears, jobs. There's one more thing with the Z ending sound. All words ending in a vowel also use the Z sound for the S. For example, plays, trees, toes. The third one is. Buses, boxes, changes, watches, finishes, prizes. This is ending sound is represented by the ES spelling, so that makes it much easier to identify and to know when to use this sound, so that's good. But without going into lots of detail, is there a rule for using is? Well, yes, there is. Words that end in s, ks, ja, cha, sh, and z always use the is pronunciation for words ending in the es spelling. Buses, boxes, changes, watches, finishes, prizes. So these are the 3 ways of pronouncing the S sound in English words. The next time you're having trouble trying to decide how to pronounce an S sound, you can use these rules to help you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.
And that is the end of the pronunciation part. Thanks for listening.